Dear viewers, welcome back to another episode of Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. Through this segment, we focus on important editorials from major newspapers such as the Hindu, the Indian Express, Live Mint, Business Standard, etc. for effective understanding of our students. Now, through this program, we primarily focus on three things. First, we try to link the editorial with that of the UPSC syllabus. Second, we try to decode or decipher what are the key points that are mentioned in the editorial. And lastly, and most importantly, we try to learn the key concepts, if any, that are mentioned in the editorial. Dear viewers, we truly hope you love this initiative of Drishti IAS. Please feel free to give us your valuable suggestions and opinions so that we can strive to do better each and every day. So with a lot of gratitude in our hearts to our viewers, let us commence today's session of editorial analysis. Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below. For today, we have opted for the editorial titled Vaccine for All from the Hindu, dated 09 September 2020. Now, the editorial technically talks about how India should focus on creating a COVID-19 vaccine policy. Now, let us try to link this editorial with that of the UPSC syllabus. It is more important from a mains perspective where we can link it with general studies too and with governance. And since it's related to vaccine policy, we can further narrow it down to connecting it with services relating to health. So as you're aware, with the title of the editorial, it is about the recent COVID-19 or the coronavirus pandemic that has affected all over the world. Just to give you a background check, this is data related to United States, India, Brazil and China. India has kind of, topped the charts with the highest number of average deaths in a day. We are currently, close to 45 lakh cases and with almost 1,000 to 1,500 deaths. And almost 90,000 active cases, and this is followed by United States, Brazil, Russia and all the other countries, so which makes it kind of very clear that all of them are racing ahead to find a vaccine, and it is in full-fledged mode. Now, from vaccine companies such as Oxford University collaborating with other companies and with Serum Institute in India, to even intelligence agencies around the world are pushing ahead to develop the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, several efforts are progressing, and let us make it very clear that the worry is not about finding the vaccine right now. So many countries investing time and effort, and with the advancement of science and technology, we are very confident that the vaccine will be discovered soon. However, now the editorial talks about how globally the concerns are not about developing the vaccine. Rather, the concern is about how to make the vaccine accessible to all in the future. Now, this is the narrative that we have to focus on. And recently, the WHO Director General, Tedros Ghebreyesus, spoke of the need to effectively use the vaccine when it becomes available. Now, what does he mean by saying effectively use the vaccine? Technically, he meant we need to prioritize the vaccination for some in the initial stages. Now, the idea is actually very, authentic, and this is the need of the hour, because as production increases, people everywhere should get it. Now, for example, Russia has introduced their trial vaccine called Sputnik. Now, 24 hours ago, they had released the first batch. Now, the idea is, who do you make it available to? It cannot be given to everyone on the same day, but we need to prioritize. So, global health leaders had suggested certain ideas. To begin with, this is certain ideas on which all of them have kind of agreed. See, one and foremost idea is to make the vaccine available for essential workers or the frontline workers. Now, if you remember, even Modi ji had asked all of us, to show our gratitude. We were there, on the balconies and, we did diyas to show our unity with the essential workers. That includes, nurses, doctors, health workers, policemen, people who are part of the municipal corporations who are at the forefront, who do not have an option to not, to work from home. Rather, they will have to be there in spite of whatever the crisis. So these essential workers or our frontline warriors should be on priority list number 1. And secondly, we should focus on high risk category members such as children, pregnant women, senior citizens, and also those with comorbidities. See, comorbidity means people who have already other issues such as cardiovascular diseases, etc. Because as per research, people with comorbidities, with other diseases, tend to suffer more when they are affected by COVID-19. All right. And another factor or another idea is that, to make the vaccine available free of cost to those who cannot pay, or make it available at affordable rates. See, this also makes sense. Why? Because if you look at it at the initial phase, now whichever country or company finds the vaccine, they would definitely be demanding a price for the vaccine, and we can be very sure that the cost of vaccines are expected to be very high. Hence, the governments must incentivize and cushion the cost so that this is made available to all. Now, before we go ahead, many of you would be wondering, why should we make the vaccine available for all? See, first and foremost, it's our moral and ethical obligation that the vaccine be available for everyone, in spite of religion, caste, creed, sex, or origin. No matter what, it should be available. Secondly, the economic factor. See, I'm sure, just like me, many of you might be really tired of the lockdown that is, affecting all of us. You cannot meet members, you can't socialize, you can't be with family. So, of course, this has also affected us economically. A lot of people are affected. They've lost their jobs, economies have shut. So this cannot continue for long. And the worry is, if you leave gaps in the delivery of this vaccine, in all probability, the virus will survive, mutate, and will further continue to wreak damage. And I'm sure we do not want another lockdown. So it makes sense that the vaccine is made available to all. Now, all of these issues are also applicable to India. So the question rises, what must India do? Who gets the vaccine and how can we distribute it effectively? See, now, as per the editorial, first and foremost, our topmost priority must be to create a vaccine policy. That is, we should be able to state clearly what is our policy. Now, the core objective of the vaccine policy is that we must ensure equal and affordable access to the vaccine. Now, the policy can be on the lines of suggestions made earlier by the global health leaders, as with reference to essential workers, high-risk category, and to make it more affordable. However, India has, one advantage. See, we already have a reliable vaccine delivery system for children, as part of the Universal Immunization program. But this program involves both center and states, and it is a project of success because we have been successful in the UIP. Alright. However, the COVID-19 is a bigger task because now, in comparison with a universal immunization program, we target infants, children, and pregnant women. While COVID-19 is bigger because it has to be targeted for every citizen. They will have to build their immunity and boost, to resist the COVID-19 virus. So the government must develop a policy specific to the COVID-19 vaccine. And that includes preparing resources, using both material and human, so that we are able to manufacture, storage, distribute, and deliver the vaccine in the timely manner. So with this, we can conclude what are the key points that we had to learn from the editorial, and now we try to move or try to understand what is the key concept that we have to focus on. So the editorial spoke about COVID-19 vaccine. We have already covered the stages of vaccine in our earlier editorial analysis, but our focus should be on the universal immunization program that was mentioned. Now, before we get to universal immunization program, let us try to learn what is immunization. See, now it is simply a process whereby a person is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease. And how is this done? Typically, it is by the administration of a vaccine. See, another important note or interesting point that you can keep in your mind is, what are vaccines, or how do you define it? So technically, vaccines are substances that stimulate the body's own immune system to protect the person against subsequent infection or disease. Okay, so with this information, let us try to understand what is the Universal Immunization Program of India. See, the immunization program in India was first introduced in 1978 as part of an expanded program of immunization. In 1985, the program was modified as the Universal Immunization Program, which is to be implemented in a phased manner to cover all districts in the country. And by 1989 and 90, it became one of the largest health programs in the world. So the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is the absolute authority on the Universal Immunization Program, and they provide several vaccines to infants, children, pregnant women through the Universal Immunization Program. So far, since we're talking about the Universal Immunization Program, it's also important that, we need to remember what are some of the vaccines, or what are the vaccines provided under the Universal Immunization Program. So to begin with, it's BCG, that is Bacillus calmette-guerin, OPV, oral polio vaccine, hepatitis B vaccine, pentavalent vaccine, rotavirus, PCV, which stands for pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, FIPV, which stands for fractional inactivated poliomyelitis vaccine, then measles or MR vaccine, which stands for measles and rubella infection, then JE vaccine, again, which stands for Japanese encephalitis vaccine, and the DPT booster, which is a combined vaccine that protects against diphtheria, tetanus pertussis, and tetanus toxoid. This is the last of the category. Also, another important fact that we have to remember is Mission Indradhanush. Now, what was this mission? It was launched in December 2014 by the Government of India. The objective was to strengthen and re-energize the program and achieve full immunization coverage for all children and pregnant women at a rapid pace. So with this, we conclude the important key concept that we had to learn from the editorial. And now let us look at this issue from the prelims and mains perspective. From prelims, we can expect a question related to UIP, also related to Mission Indradhanush, which was already asked in 2016, and definitely one question can come from COVID-19. Now, in 2016, a question was asked. Mission Indradhanush, launched by the Government of India, pertains to immunization of children and pregnant women, construction of smart cities across the country, India's own search for Earth-like planets in outer space, or the new educational policy. So if you have thoroughly listened to this editorial, you would be able to score 2 marks, because this is the correct answer. Mission Indradhanush pertains to immunization of children and pregnant women. Now, from a mains perspective, there was not many questions related to UIP or any of the vaccine policies, since this is new. However, this is a question from our end. India needs a COVID-19 vaccine policy that ensures total coverage in logical phases. Discuss. So, dear viewers, please feel free to mention your answers in the comments below so that we can discuss this ahead. So with this, we conclude today's session of editorial analysis. Hope we have done thorough justice to the editorial. Dear viewers, please feel free to give us your valuable suggestions so that we can strive to do better each and every day. So until next time, stay safe. Thank you and good night.